Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, May 24th, and I'm going to be doing a weekly vlog this week, kind of checking in with you throughout the week as I'm working on exciting or interesting things for Fern Creek. So my priorities today, I am working on filling orders and also doing some designing. So I'll show you the designing in a minute. I'll do a screen capture while I work on designing. So I'm going to do, for this week's new releases, I have stickers that are like, it's one big sticker to put on notes pages in your planners, so things like a reading log or a place to keep track of movies that you watch, that kind of thing. And so I just sell them individually because they're things that I think people a lot of times just need a one-off for them to use in a notes page, like in the back of their planner. So those have been selling really well since I reopened, and I know a lot of people will be setting up a new planner soon. I asked for ideas for some new ones on Instagram, so I'm going to be getting those designed, and those will be Thursday's new releases. So I want to get those designed today so I can get them cut and stocked ahead of Thursday. Then, yeah, I'll be cutting stickers, working on orders. So in my day in life last week, I talked about how I'm trying to get the shop all stocked so I can be ready to ship, and I'm in a little bit of a conundrum right now trying to decide what to do, because part of me wants to push really hard and try to get the shop totally stocked when I have my big August release coming up next week. And I just feel like a lot of my goals and things I want to do are kind of contingent on first getting the shop fully stocked. And so this is just kind of how I work in general. Like, I always, when I have like big things to do, like I'm like the opposite of a procrastinator. I'm like, well, let me try to do it early. Let me try to like finish up stuff early. Like I finished my dissertation a whole semester early, and I actually could have had it done a whole year early if I'd needed to. Like I'm that kind of person. I just like to, I don't like working right up against deadlines, so then I like preempt the deadline. So it's the same kind of thing here where I wonder if I'm best off just pushing through. The problem is I don't really have a good sense of, I know I have lots of inventory, but I don't quite know how much I need to make to get things fully stocked. So I'm in a little bit of a conundrum there with just not knowing exactly what I need to do and how much work it's going to take. The other thing that's a little bit of a challenge is I have new equipment coming, and if the new equipment, like if it got here by Friday even, I think I would have no trouble getting everything stocked, assuming that it doesn't take me very long to get set up. But I've already watched all the videos and read the manual, and I think I should be able to get it up and running pretty quickly once it gets here, which would be great. But I don't know when it's gonna come. And I just contacted the company I ordered it from because its order status has been in packing for a week now, which I don't know what that means. So I always hate, as a small business owner, I always hate bothering people about order statuses, because sometimes people will email me like the day after they placed an order being like, hey, when is this gonna ship? And it's like, just chill out. I'm not Amazon. I'll get your stickers to you pretty fast, but I'm not Amazon. And so it's the same thing with me too, with small businesses. I don't want to bother them about my order, because like I know that they're working on stuff, they're on top of it, but at the same time I need a little more information. So I contacted them a little bit ago, and they got back to me right away and said, we're gonna go check on your order and we'll get back to you soon. So hopefully I'll know when that equipment's coming, and that'll help me to make a better choice. But I'm kind of like, should I push through and try to get everything stocked before the big August release, or do I just need to wait a little longer and see? So that's kind of where I am today. I'll show you some designing in a few minutes and probably a little bit of cutting later, but that's kind of what I'm up to on this Monday. So the other somewhat exciting thing that happened was I got a sticker paper delivery, and I order 5,000 sheets at once. That's kind of the best number for me, because you start to get, the more you buy, the cheaper it gets, but after 5,000, the price doesn't go down as much. I think if I order 10,000 at once, it goes down about a penny per page more, which is not negligible, but we have limited storage space, so this is about all that I can store. The only thing that I wasn't thinking about when I placed this order, I have another 5 boxes. I have another 5,000 sheets coming with this order, but they shipped separately, because with my new cutting machine that I'm gonna get, it's gonna make a lot of sense to do most stuff on legal size paper. So I have a new printer that's just like the big brother version of the printer that I have now that'll print legal size paper, and I'll need to start using legal size. But until my current printers die, I can still do a lot of stuff on letter size. But I ordered 5,000 sheets of legal and 5,000 sheets of letter, and the storage is going to be a little tricky. I'm not going to show you the corner of the bedroom where we store all of my boxes of extra sticker supplies, but it's there. And yeah, so these boxes are surprisingly heavy, and lugging them upstairs and putting them away is not my favorite thing, but I'll probably do that throughout the afternoon. Every time I come downstairs, like to get something else to drink, I'll bring a box up with me and eventually get these put away. Okay, so I'm just finishing up cutting for the day. Hopefully the silhouettes aren't too loud as they are going right now, but here is kind of the aftermath of cutting. I've already put away some of the stuff that I cut. I try to put stuff in piles as I go, but then I get kind of lazy and I have this situation. So like I'll need to sort through all this so I can get it put away. But yeah, so here's what I did. Also I wanted to show too, I had a bunch of customs to do today, and so you can get customs done in the kit script format to match these. So I think these are really cute, what kind of things people have been requesting. I think they've turned out really well. So I was doing a lot of those. But yeah, I'm going to get this cleaned up and like put these customs in orders that need them and then run to the post office. Good morning. So it is Tuesday today. I should address, I am wearing the same dress as yesterday. During the pandemic, I started making a, I don't know, routine, whatever. When I'm at home, I just wear the same clothes 2 days in a row and I don't care. And I thought, I'm filming this for YouTube, maybe I should change clothes, but I really don't care that much. So this is real life. I wear the same thing 2 days in a row and then I'll wear new clothes tomorrow. So anyway, a few things to talk about this morning. So first of all, I'm realizing now, yesterday, my plan that I just wanted to get everything stocked and ready for when I do the August new releases is not gonna happen. I'm being really impatient about this. I want it to happen, but I forgot that I still have to make the Erin Condren kits. I need to make the Daily Duo kits in 2 sizes and the monthly kits and the note pages in 3 sizes for both July and August because I only got those at the end of last week. So that is a lot of extra work that I have to do still. So the whole getting the shop stocked, that's not gonna happen. I'm making progress, I'll get there. I have to keep reminding myself of that. It's okay. The shop has only been open again for a few weeks. I will get there. But I'm not being very patient about that. So anyway, so yeah, today's plan this morning, I will work on filling orders, and then this afternoon, Danielle will be here and I'll have her cutting stickers and I will work on designing because I am still, I think I mentioned this before, that usually, or I guess like back in the day before I closed my shop for a few months, for the big monthly release, I would start working on that like 4 to 6 weeks ahead of when it was going to happen, and that didn't happen this time. So I'm a little behind, and especially I need to finish getting the new stuff designed, and some of that is I still have to measure some of the new planners and get the measurements right. So I'll be working on that this afternoon when Danielle is here, and I will show you some of that later. So in other exciting news, so I've mentioned that I have a new product coming and I'm really excited that it has shipped. So I think I will be able to do that with the August release. It's coming from China, but it's coming by air. And when I've gotten stuff shipped by air from China before, it usually gets here in 4 or 5 days. So hopefully that will all be here in time to release with the August release. And I will go ahead and tell you, my YouTube viewers, what is coming. I am going to have foiled stickers and I am really excited about these. They turned out so well. I'm going to make a whole video about my experiences ordering stuff on Alibaba, but I have been so impressed with the places I've ordered from, and especially this company. I have really, my contact person there, it has just been a pleasure to work with her. These took longer than expected because there was a quality issue. They made all of my stickers and there was a quality issue, so they remade all of them. And that kind of stuff I am so impressed with because they could have sent them to me. They sent me pictures of the problem ones. I probably would have gotten them and been like, well, this is weird, but I guess this is just how it is because I'd never ordered foiled stickers before. So it's probably something they could have gotten away with it. And they remade all of these sheets, which I'm just really, really impressed by. So it was a bit delayed. They should have been here a few weeks ago. So it was a bit delayed, but it's all good. But they, when you order stuff, or at least every time that I've ordered custom stuff on Alibaba, they send pictures or videos before they ship it. So I got pictures this morning of all of the finished stickers and they look so good. I am so happy with how they turned out. So yeah, so those will be coming very soon and I will show you all the details. But yeah, I'll have foiled stickers and I have them coming in 4 foils. So they will be gold, rose gold, silver, and hollow. So lots of options for you with those. So I think that's kind of what I've got going on today. So I'm going to get started on filling some orders and then I'll probably check back in later this afternoon when I am working on designing. So there was a little bit of a change of plans for the afternoon. So Catherine, who's the second person who I was going to hire this summer, texted me to ask if she could come over and talk about getting started. So she did, and then she wanted to go ahead and get started working. So that was great. So we got the second cutting station set up. So there was a little bit of a change of plans for the afternoon. So Catherine, who's the second person who I was going to hire this summer, texted me to ask if she could come over and talk about getting started. So she did, and then she wanted to go ahead and get started working. So that was great. So we got the second cutting station set up, and then I got Catherine trained, and she started cutting. So that was kind of how the afternoon went. So I'm probably going to need to do some designing this evening. I'm trying to keep good boundaries with evenings and weekends during the summer because I'm doing this during the day and it's easy to keep going all the time. But tonight I will keep doing some designing because I am behind for the big August release, and I'll have 2 people cutting for me tomorrow, so I'll be able to, if I can get stuff designed and printed, I'll have a lot of headway. So I'm going to turn you around now and show you my new second cutting station. So here's the second cutting station. This is downstairs, like right behind our kitchen. The kitchen table is right here. Again, small space living, but I'm glad I have space for this second station. So this is using my set of silhouette portrait 2s, and I don't know, I think the cameos and the portraits, they both have advantages and disadvantages. So overall, maybe I like the portraits a little better, but they're both good. They're just a little different. So, but yeah, so this is my second cutting station. So now with 2 people cutting for me, we should be able to move through a lot of stuff pretty fast. So it is about noon on Wednesday, and so far this morning I've been printing stickers and also got a batch of orders filled. So now this afternoon I'm going to focus on designing and also getting stickers organized a little bit. So now that I've got both Danielle and Catherine cutting for me in the afternoons, even though I still have a lot left to do for the new releases next week, it'll be very doable with the 2 of them cutting. So I really need to work on designing because, like with the Daily Duo kits, I am doing the July ones too because I wanted to wait till I had the new planners. So I have 10 Daily Duo kits in 2 sizes to do. And so I have to do a lot of designing for those. So I got the new 7x9 format finalized last night. I'm still working on measuring and doing the A5 ones, but yeah, this afternoon I'll really be working on designing and getting stuff printed so that Catherine and Danielle can cut. So I will show you a little bit though what I'm doing in terms of organizing stickers as well, because I'll be working on that too. So in the past with sticker organization, here's a good example. So like here's a kit, and I just have all the sheets for one kit behind one tab. And these tabs aren't even labeled. Like, this was extremely lazy. I mean, I know where things are, but as I'm hoping to train other people to fill orders, I need to have things better labeled because I can find this, but other people wouldn't be able to. So like here's one that's actually labeled, but again, all the stuff for kit 33 is behind the same tab. So what I'm working on now is making new tabs that are typed so that it is not a matter of reading my handwriting and so that there's only like one thing behind every tab. So it's taking a little time because I have to print these and cut them, but I think it's going to be worthwhile. Yeah, and like here you can see for script that now like the different colors are separated out instead of just having them all behind one. So I need to do that for the new releases for next week. And then also I'm trying to work on slowly getting that done for my old inventory as well. So I can show you. So like here's a sheet that I've got printed out, but I've got it printed and cut, but now I need to like actually put it on tabs and get all this stuff put away. So this is going to be a little bit of a process, but I think in the long run, it'll definitely be worth it. Good morning. It is Thursday and new releases just went live. I am a little ashamed to admit that I did the listings this morning, which is not ideal. Doing listings is not my favorite thing, and it is something that realistically I probably should get somebody else to do for me, and that's something that somebody could do remotely for me. So by the end of the summer, that maybe should be a goal for me, to find somebody else to do listings, or at least do the listing pictures. I probably need to do the actual listings myself, but the listing pictures someone else can do. Over time, I've really streamlined how I do the listing pictures. It used to take so long. I used to do them in Photoshop, and it took a long time to do them. And I would actually I didn't release as much stuff just because the listings took so long. I have a much faster way of doing them now, but it still takes some time, and it's just not fun. If you have to do it, I have to get the listings up so I can sell stuff, but it is not my favorite thing. So I did procrastinate that until this morning. So when I should have been working out this morning, I did listings instead, but they are done. And now Thursdays are kind of my active recovery day. So I'm gonna go for a short walk now before it gets too hot, and then I'll do some yoga this evening. So my workout will still happen, but again, not the ideal schedule. So after I go for my walk, I have to run a few errands. So one of them is not shop related. I have to go to the power company to get the power turned on for our new house, which is really exciting. But then also I need to get another trash can, because I realized when I set up the second cutting station downstairs, I did not have a trash can for it. So we have been using a box for the past couple of days, but that is not big enough. So I need to go get a new trash can. And then I also need to go to Michael's and get cardstock. So I showed you yesterday working on my file labels. Actually, let me flip you around and I can show you this. So I'm going to show you how I go about designing for something totally new like this. So this is the A5 Erin Conran planner. And so something like the 7x9 dashboards and monthly kits, there's new measurements I need to do for them, but I have a starting point from the old kit. So I kind of start by laying down the old stickers and then going from there and adjusting. But something like this is totally a fresh start. I need to start from zero to get the measurements. So I have these handy digital calipers, and these are stolen from my husband. Brian is an engineer, and so he has these for doing random things that engineers like to do in their free time. And I have stolen them from him. They live in my office now, and when he needs them, he comes and asks me. So these are pretty handy because it's way easier than using a ruler for these really precise kinds of measurements, because you open up the spot and then it tells you on the screen, oops, I have these in millimeters. And so then I can write down the size. So I'm going to do that for a few different parts, but this only gives me a starting point. So, okay, sorry, I'm trying to write down the numbers and talk at the same time. So this gives me a starting point, but you're going to see there's still, when you actually make the stickers though, sometimes you want them just a hair wider or a hair less wide, because like sometimes they should be within the lines and sometimes they should go to the edge of the lines. So there's still going to be some tweaking that comes after this, but the digital calipers help a lot, because otherwise, if you're just using a ruler, there's a lot more tweaking that you have to do. Okay, so let's see, I want the height of this one as well. Accidentally zeroed that out. So let's get the height. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, now that I've got those initial measurements, I keep paper, sticker paper where the printing messed up. So I don't, if like there are two sheets on a piece of paper and one sheet the printing messed up, the other one is fine, I cut it and then oops the other one. If both sheets are messed up, I don't cut it. Cutting is my time bottleneck right now, and fortunately I've been able to make some changes to printing that I have way less messed up printing than I used to, but still I save those sheets not to cut but to use for testing like this, because there's no point in trying to like design and make it look nice in the new design first. First, I'm going to cut out shapes in the size that I want out of messed up paper and put those down to see if the size is right. So I'm gonna go cut a few of those pieces and then I'll come back to show you what I do next. Okay, so now I have cut my first round, again, on this misprinted sheet. So the reason I like to do it on these instead of blank sheets is, first of all, I don't need to use a blank sheet for this. This will work just fine, but also I actually like this better because it's easier to see the edge when there's something printed on it than not. So the first thing I usually do, maybe this is kind of counterintuitive, but I like to flip them upside down first, because that gives me a good sense of like, am I even close? And I apologize if my head gets in the shot here. I'm trying to see. Okay, so this needs to be a hair wider still. The up and down is good, but it needs to be a hair wider. So I'm not even gonna bother sticking that down. A little thing to cover this up. Okay, so that needs to be a little taller. Let's see if the width is okay. Okay, so this needs to be a little bit taller and just the tiniest bit shorter. The other thing too I should say is it's always a little weird, like I'm gonna use this planner. I didn't order more than one of these to test on. So this one is always a little weird. It's always a little weird when it's in a planner you're using. Like for the regular A5 Daily Duo kits, I know I'm gonna be on vacation 1 week in July, so I've been testing on that week because I'm not gonna be using my planner. But like the notes page, I probably wanna use it. So that's the other thing that's a little weird about testing, but it's a sacrifice you have to make, but also it is why I have to order so many planners, because it's just something that you need to do. Now, I've got these 2 strips, and I do not remember if I was testing them for the left side or the right side. Okay, that is too short there. These 2 columns are slightly different widths. Okay, this must have been for this, to try covering up these strips. And okay, that is too short. Okay, so now I have this information, so I'm gonna go make another set of these test strips and come back. So now I am back with another round and we will see how these go. So again, I'll start by just doing it upside down to see how we're looking. Okay, this just needs to be a tiny bit wider still. Oh, and this one has rounded corners. Okay, so I'm gonna want to try that again anyway. Okay, so we got that one. And then let's see how this guy is. So I think size-wise that one's good now, but I need to change the corners a little bit. I need to change the angle that they're rounded out to come out a little bit more. But the size of that looks great. And then our little washi strip guy. That still needs to be a hair wider. So I'm gonna do this again and come back. This is the process. It's not super exciting, but it's just a lot of back and forth until you get things right. And there we go, I ripped that page. I don't use the dashboard a ton anyway. I have aspirations to, I have ideas for it. Maybe I was gonna use it in this planner, maybe not, but I'm probably just gonna glue down July, and that's okay. All right, back with another round. This time apparently I got super lazy and I just stuck the stickers on my hand instead of taking the whole sheet off the mat. All right, let's see how this looks. So this is getting really close. All right, I think that is good, which is excellent. That one looks good. And look at that. All right, so I've got my pieces in place now. So the next thing to do, and there's some other things that I'll need to like extrapolate from these, but I can get the sizes. Like I'll need to make a box for this, but I can get the width from this, and this height doesn't matter as much, so I can just measure that and go from there. So I want to take these off so I can still use this for another sample, but the next thing now is going to be to go to the computer and start actually making this into a design. And then from there, I will be able to do a final test once it's all designed. And then the designing itself, you'll see, I mean, it's kind of a puzzle too, because it's figuring out like what can go on the sheet, how I should fit it best, how that all works together. It is much later, and I didn't get all the footage of designing because my assistants came and I had to get them oriented, and then I forgot to start recording again. Anyway, finally, it's much later. I've got a draft of this done. Then I cut the first one, and we just put new blades on and hadn't fixed the settings, so some of them cut all the way through, but that's okay. I can still test this without all of these scripts. So let's see the moment of truth. Does this all work out the way that I want it to? And I should say too, I'm going to have an option to get this with a habit tracker or just a lined bottom. So if you don't want a habit tracker, you don't have to get one. Okay, these big stickers are a challenge to put on. All right, there we go. That looks good. Oh yeah, and the first one I designed is for August, not for July. So I don't think I'm going to use this notes page anyway, so we're just putting August down, and that's what's happening. We're going with it. Alright, so far it's all coming together well. So the hardest thing was, I'd asked a while ago on Instagram what scripts you wanted on here, and I was able to fit a lot on, but not quite everything. There were a few that I had to cut, so that was unfortunate, but it's what happens. And I did include, I had room for 3 little strips of washi here, which is nice, because then you can, if you want to like further divide one of these up, you can do that with the extra strip beyond just covering them up. And I also have, these 2 strips are the same width as this, so like if you don't want to use this box at all for some reason, you could just put these down. Anyway, see here. Tweezer time. Uh-oh. And getting the tweezers, I just dropped that sticker. Well, that's okay. Nope. There it is, the prodigal sticker. I find stickers everywhere. Like this is the thing about making stickers all the time, is like stickers just migrate everywhere in the house. It's a real problem. Alright, so far so good. This is coming together nicely. And then let's test out some of these scripts. Important dates there. Reading. To do. All right, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think it looks really nice. And so now I can go ahead and, now that I've got the template set up, I can go ahead and get this designed for the other formats. I think I'm also going to go ahead and close out this vlog here. So it's been a little bit of everything this week, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. And I'll try to alternate between doing like day in the life videos and weekly vlogs to show you a variety of the behind the scenes stuff that I am doing here at Fern Creek Stickers. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more behind the scenes sneak peeks. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.